So hopefully everybody had a great weekend. I know weather was pretty decent. So today we're going to have Leo Luna on. He's going to go over some lead generation for realtors and mortgage professionals. But before we roll into that, we have Andrew with Tried and True Home Loans, and he's going to give us an update on the mortgage market.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So wanted to just go over a couple things. Rates this morning are not exciting. I'm actually looking at a rate right here for a conventional loan at 5%. FHA for the same buyer, same family would be potentially right down at 3.9. Interesting scenarios. We're seeing, people are they're doing whatever they can to chase that low rate number. And so a lot of people are still wanting to see that 3.9 versus say 4.5 or 5. I'm looking at this chart right now for my buyers. So this is, think of a family of, a husband and wife, maybe they have kids, doesn't matter. But, they have two, let's say, average level jobs. They're making 60, 65K a year, living here in San Diego. It's 120 grand of income for the family. They want to buy, our average price point's right around 800. So this is an 850 purchase with just 5% down. And they're coming in at, like I said, anywhere from 3.9 for FHA up to 5% for conventional. Now, I've seen this for a couple weeks now where FHA is significantly lower. The challenge with FHA compared to this conventional in this same scenario is because both buyers would be using a smaller down payment, 3.5 to 5% versus going up over 20%. Both loans would have private mortgage insurance. The FHA loan, though, because of just the way it works, it's double the cost of the conventional loan. So I'm looking at a 3.9% FHA loan with $660 of mortgage insurance that has virtually the same monthly payment as a 5% conventional rate, with still has PMI, but it's about half that cost. And it's just the way that the two different mortgages, the two different types of loans work. So I guess my talking point for you guys today is while rate is definitely a significant piece of creating that ideal, affordable monthly payment, it's not the only thing involved, especially if you're using less than 20% down payment. Either of these two loans would get significantly cheaper if the borrower was able to put down 20%. However, even a 20% down, the FHA loan would probably have a lower rate, but it would still have PMI, which would potentially make the rate between the two loans, or the mortgage payment between the two loans be virtually the same. So as you're talking with your clients, mention this, especially if they're working with, less than 20% down. The good news that I see on the horizon is either of these loans could potentially be refinanced to a lower rate in the next 6 to 12 months, meaning they could acquire a property worth potentially $850,000 if they can afford this mortgage payment. And in a year, they could probably drop that payment for sure, with what we're seeing with rates potentially dropping, as well as them being able to look at refinancing when we hit that 80% mark. So it's not the end of the world, although it is definitely more expensive right now to get a mortgage than it was 6 months ago. Hope that helps. If you have more questions, please just shoot me a message or an email, whatever you like. Thanks.
Awesome. Well, I mean, that's not great news, but that's where we're at in the market. And I don't think it's really going to hamper the sales that much. Actually, it seems like a lot of people are actually jumping off the fence to try and get in before the mortgage is climbing even more. It seems like. So,
I
are
believe
you
I
experiencing that at
saw,
all?
yeah, I believe I saw less than 1,500 houses available. Have you looked at the MLS lately?
It was just under, yeah,
That's amazing, man. I
yeah,
mean, until that's 4,500, rates aren't going to really matter here in San Diego.
yeah. I don't think so. Awesome. Thanks for the update. So today we have Leo Luna on. Like I said, he's going to go over some lead generation geared towards realtors and mortgage professionals. We've been working with Leo for a little while now, maybe a year and a half, coming up on 2 years maybe. He does all of our ads and lead funnels here at Rise Realty. So today I think he's going to just go over kind of a top level view of, ways that you can do it on your own, or obviously, through him, but he's going to show you some ways that you can do this on your own. And feel free to ask any questions in the chat and we'll answer them as we go along.
Guys and gals, Leo here. Feel free to ask as many questions as you want. Pick my brain. Think of this as a free coaching call. Usually I do charge for coaching calls, but I just want to pour into you guys. There's a lot of questions, a lot of uncertainty when it comes to marketing, utilizing Facebook ads or any ads, no matter what ad platform you use, the funnel is all the same. So we're going to dive into a little bit of that, and I'm going to be focusing on Facebook ads, but it's more along the lines of, if you're just doing organic social media, you need to have some type of funnel flow. That way you capture the leads. Well, first of all, you need to bring awareness to your business, brand yourself, capture the lead, and nurture those leads. So we're just going to kind of do a top level view of everything real quick, but we're going to use Facebook ads as kind of our medium to make this easy and explain it a lot easier. And then if you stick around to the very end, we have a special, I guess you can say a special offer, but it's basically Travis is going to announce one of his new products that he has that will give you a little bit of a advantage if you wanted to go somewhere with Facebook ads. But I'll let him talk about that in a little bit. But let's go ahead and dive right in. Let me share my screen real quick, because every time I start a presentation, I forget to share screen. and then I forget. All right.
Looks good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So this presentation, let me actually turn off my camera because I just see my big old face on there. Give me 1 second on how I can do that. I just wanted everyone to kind of look at my face, but I don't want to scare you guys too much. All right.
All right. Looks like you're good.
Perfect. So thank you, Travis, for letting me hop on today. This is going to be too long of a workshop, but we're going to cut to the chase. So let's spend the next 15 minutes just really diving in and answer the question, like how you generate more leads using social media. Because a lot of people know that social media is kind of like this, we connect with other people, but we don't really know, like there's no rule book on it, unless you spend countless hours on YouTube trying to figure out the next hot trend that you're trying to follow, or you're just trying to do the research yourself. It takes a lot of time, and especially if you're using YouTube, you got 10 different people saying 10 different strategies, and you opt into 10 different shiny objects, and it makes it really hard to understand what's the right path. What should I really be focusing on? I'm doing one thing, someone's going to tell me to hop on YouTube and create a YouTube channel. Another person's going to say you're on Facebook ads. Another person's going to say hop on TikTok. To cut to the chase is all that works. It's just a matter of sticking to one message in one platform and showing it to the right audience. So no matter what platform you use, you just want to stay very simple and very linear. So we got to ask ourselves the question first before we even start presenting ourselves is, well, what do leads really want? So when you're talking to either buyers or sellers, or even someone considering to make a move into their home, if you don't know exactly what their issues are, what their objections are to even going to this market, that's the first form of getting yourself out there. You won't get people's attention if you can't actually start solving problems for them. So maybe you had a client that, you know, they had a really hard time getting approved for a loan. You know, journal that, make a like a case study out of it, and then create a social media post explaining like, hey, my client, you know, just had a hard time getting their credit under wraps, but we were able to work with this person and we got their credit right where they needed to be. They approved, and just use that as case studies and create social media posts around that. But what you really want to start thinking about is, what do leads really want? And the way we separate those two is, buyers, they want to know that there's actually homes available. You know, before someone actually becomes a buyer, they want to know that they have a realtor that can show them homes. A lot of times us buyers that are just kind of looking out there for our agent, we think everything is like the TV shows, House Hunters, you know, where a realtor shows them 3 homes and all of a sudden they pick the best one and then their offer is accepted. You know, and that's not really the reality. But what we can do as advertisers and marketers is we can at least let them know that there are homes available and that you have direct access to a list that can give them what they want. That's one way to go about it. So buyers just want to know that there's homes available, that if they're going to start this journey, that they're in good hands. So what does that look like in your marketing technique or your marketing efforts? And then for sellers, they want to know that they can receive a hassle-free transaction and receive top dollar for that home. So what are you doing to show that, to showcase that? So one of the ways, well, we'll go into this a little further, but one of the ways is showing your case studies, what was recently just sold or what's just listed. What buyers do you have ready for this market? Do you have cash buyers available? Do you have access to buyers? All that stuff plays into getting a seller to get motivated to sell their home. So you got to start asking yourself the question is, what's in it for them as the client, not what's in it for me. So many times I see agents advertising on Facebook or just general marketing, top producer, you know, they got an award, they do this and that, which is great for prestige. But you want to be careful because you're not really helping the clients be the hero. So once you start positioning yourself as what's in it for your clients, what's in it for them, and you start giving them the information that makes them the winner, not thinking what's in it for me and how can I make myself look better, then your marketing really starts to change and you start attracting more people to you. When you're trying to position yourself as the authority, it's basically let the results speak for you and you're just the person that can make it happen. So once you start positioning yourself in that mentality, marketing in general becomes easier on social media, as well as when you're crafting your messaging on ads, you're really talking to that one person that's looking to purchase a home soon or that's looking to sell their home soon. So let's go back to talking about, what do buyer leads, what do they really want? Well, they want homes, right? So 3 different types of advertisements we really do to showcase buyer leads is creating a hot list. You know, if you're looking for, if you're trying to market in, I'm going to say, I'm going to throw or Anaheim, you know, I'm from Anaheim, so I'm just going to say Anaheim. What I would do is I would create a hot list of homes in Anaheim, you know, and I would look up the median budget and maybe I'd go slightly under that to get more leads in. You know, a lot of people don't know what they can afford until they meet with the lender. But a lot of times, if you just say the median household, well, the median home sold is, I don't know, 600,000, 650,000. I'd probably make a hot list for homes over 500,000 or 550 or 600. I wouldn't go to 800. Now, if you have more room to be, if you have a bigger budget, I would say, you know, find homes for 700,000 in Orange County, things like that. Then you can have a bigger budget to spend with. But if you're trying to just gather leads, then I would focus on more of like 600,000 in Anaheim. So create a hot list, showcase your new listings. Anytime you have a new listing, run an ad to that listing and give them ideas, because what they'll do is they'll click on that listing and they'll actually want to view images, and you can capture the email and the phone number. And one of the biggest things you want to do as a marketer or as an agent is you want to capture phone numbers and emails. You want to build your database. That's basically the goal of everything, because not everything is going to be a sale this month. We all know that it takes time. It's a longer sales cycle. It is a process, but if you're not doing anything to build your database now to collect the emails and phone numbers today, then 3 months down the road, you're still going to be in the same position you're in today, where you have no leads and you have no information and you have no one to remarket to email to provide market updates with. All that information is not being collected. And so the longevity of creating that information is if you have a pipeline, you're going to get that lead maybe a year from now, maybe 6 months from now. But if you don't have that database, then you're not really doing anything with it. And the last thing you can do is create free reports, or free reports or like an ebook, so free reports on what the market trends are looking like, how many homes are on the market, just any type of report you want to run. You could run an ad to that, collect an email and a phone number in exchange for that information. So all these are great ideas that you can run, if you wanted to run it yourself. Just hop on YouTube, check it out. And once again, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I don't know where my bar went, so I can't see any questions. Travis, if there's a question pops up, just chime in, let me know.
Yeah, I'll let you know when they come in. So
perfect. If you have any questions on these, feel free to ask. So the next thing is the biggest question I get. Everyone wants that golden egg. How do I get more seller leads? Everyone wants to know that. There is kind of a myth where seller leads, if you get a seller lead, you're able to sell it that month. It's very rare. I've been lucky enough to have clients where I've got them seller leads within the first 2 weeks of working with me, but they had a really good offer to put in front of people and got attention really quick. One of the offers I was able to market and got a really quick result in about a week's time was someone was utilizing a home swap program. And so you can sell your home and then also buy your home, but you don't have to buy the home. I forgot what the program was exactly, but it was a home swap program, and someone was interested. They sold their home within that month, and the client was very happy with that. And that was probably the fastest transaction I've ever done with Facebook ads. Now, that's very untypical for that to actually happen, but the power of marketing and utilizing ads, it can happen. And then shortly thereafter, the next month, we had another lead come in. Client was kind of not happy about it because he was an Anaheim client, and then the lead was in Riverside area. So that just kind of happens with Facebook ads, but he still sold the home. So you really, because the way Facebook works is you have to target within a 15-mile radius. And so if you're in Anaheim, you can kind of head out there to Riverside a little bit in Corona area. But the biggest question, let's go back to the question, how do I get more seller leads? And there's a couple ways to do that. But the truth is really it comes down to, it's not like you need more leads for your business as far as it comes to seller leads, because anyone can give you leads. They're extremely overpriced. If you've done Zillow or any other type of, marketing with any other company that gives you leads, they take a split, extremely overpriced just to get that lead. I think the Zillow Lead Premier program is like, $400 to $1,000 depending. And plus they lock you in for like 6 months. There's a lot of rules and regulations with that, but it's extremely overpriced. The next thing is when you're running those ad campaigns is you're actually not branding yourself. What you're doing is you're piggybacking off of a big name and you're just collecting the leads. So you're not actually getting your name out there for thousands to see in your local neighborhood. When you're running something like Facebook ads, we keep it in the market and people start seeing your face and your name out there a lot more frequently. And then with Facebook, we're able to retarget those same people that were even interested in the first place. So we take a cold audience and we showcase your face in front of a cold audience. And then after they engage you about 6 or 7 times, they become that warm audience that we can remarket to. And when they're ready, they'll reach out to you. So it's about keeping top of mind. And that's something that you just don't get with purchasing leads that are extremely overpriced through another market. And then also the lead quality can be poor. You know, a lot of people are selling these leads off of lead pools. They're not your exclusive leads. They're not leads that you have to, if you don't call them within 5 minutes, that they're going to get 10 other calls from other agents around them because they're part of a lead pool. And the lead quality tends to be poor. So we have combated the ways with Facebook ads, at least for my agency. And Travis is actually also working on that. Now, there is a cheaper alternative, which Travis will go over with you, that'll be more affordable. But if you're like, hey, like I'm an agent, I'm a top producer, I just need to get my name and branded more out there, then we can work one-on-one. I have no problem with that. Because that's where we're gonna really be able to brand you, to build your business up, and to really utilize Facebook ads for your next level of business. So number one, when you talk about seller leads or just any ads in general, is you want to reach the right people. And by reaching the right people, that's number one. Because like I always said, you have to have the right message to the right with one channel. It's one message with one channel and to the right people at the right time. So when you show up to these people and they see your ad, this is kind of the secret sauce. I'm not going to expose the ads, but you can kind of get an idea. But when you start reaching the right people, you really, really start honing in on your effectiveness for ads. You know, a lot of people spend $1,800 for one mailing campaign. And a lot of those mailers just get thrown in the trash as soon as they get it on their doorstep. And that's kind of ineffective marketing because you're kind of doing I call it the shotgun blast method, where you just shotgun and you just let it spray, you know, pray and spray, you know, you're just letting it spray everywhere. Now, when you reach the right people, this is more of a sniper approach where you're looking at your targets and you're sniping them down one-on-one, and you're not wasting any ammo. You're very effective in your targeting, and you get the results that you're looking for a lot quicker. The number two method is you got to make sure that you have a screening process that's going to kick out those tire kickers, the people that are just going to kind of spin your wheels, the ones. I'm sure you've had a lead that opted into something and you just realized that they weren't ever serious to begin with because they just kind of threw in their information and called it a day. And so what we've done is we've created a screening process on the front end of things, so that way when they come into your email or whatever platform you're using, that you're actually getting a real person that's been verified. Because a lot of times I'm sure you called someone and they're like, who are you? I've never given my information out, or my daughter clicked a button and submitted something in. So you want to make sure that you have some type of screening process. Plus, with the screening process, it also gives someone some skin in the game and to also be serious. You know, if they have to answer a short amount of questions, then you know they're a lot more serious and qualified of either a buyer or seller than someone that just clicks a button to opt in and does no effort whatsoever. And those people are the ones that feel that they're just going to be a drain and a waste of time. So the lead screening process is really what's going to be effective. And then the third thing that kind of ties everything up is, do you have a CRM that's going to help convert those leads in your pipeline over the long haul of time? So if you're running ads, those ads are paid for. Those are something that you put money into. You know, those are something that really just kind of said, I'm interested, however much you paid for that lead. Are they just opting in one time? Are you calling them, and then after that phone call, they don't do anything? Then you just kind of gave up on them, and maybe in 6 months, a year from now, you'll go back to your email list and just be like, hey, are you interested in buying? That's not actually nurturing. That's just, you know, you're basically going back to whatever you had in the past and trying to reconnect with them. And if you're not in front of their minds constantly, they're going to be like, who are you? I don't remember who you are. So a really good way to work that and have things, you know, optimized for you is put them into a CRM, have them either in a monthly type of nurture campaign, marketing reports, how homes are available, what is the criteria they're looking for, how often are you engaging them? And all this can be automated too. It's not always about you having to go back there and doing the work and the legwork yourself. You guys are already busy, but we all know that if if your busy work isn't producing you results, then you're not building a sustainable business. And so this is where Travis comes in to kind of talk about how we can get these Facebook ads, tied in to getting leads in, and then to actually get them into a CRM. Because what I've seen Travis build on the CRM is just amazing. And I said this was going to be like a 15-minute workshop. But whatever your goal is going to be, you got to have a consistent lead flow. And I'm sure you all know how important a lead flow is in your business. You got to be able to weed out the tire kickers with some type of automated qualification. And then you also need to bulletproof that pipeline. So that way you have that database that doesn't just go dead on you. Because if you're not doing those three things, then you're just collecting leads with no game plan in mind. Then you're really just leaving a lot of money on the table when it comes to generating new leads. So with that being said, do you have any questions, anything? If not, then I'll roll it over to Travis real quick and he can kind of give you some more insights on things.
Yeah, I don't see any coming in yet, but I'll answer them as they come through. So, when you're dealing with the Facebook ads, I've been testing this for years and years and years. And actually me and Leo have been working pretty close, I'd say over the past few months on just, general targeting and, getting the flow down. And when we talk about flow or funnels, we're talking about, the ad in Facebook or wherever you're running it, and then the process it takes to get into your CRM system. So, that's the flow or the funnel coming through, because we want to get them into the CRM. And the reason why is that's what's going to help you with conversion. If you're spending money on leads and you don't have a CRM in place, you're really just wasting your money, in my opinion, because you have to have a follow-up system in place to nurture these leads. Most of these leads, if it's an internet lead, whether it's something you paid for from a third-party service, or if you're running your own ads, they're always going to be a nurture. You're going to have, if you get 50 leads in a month, you're going to have one, maybe two that want to work with you that month. They're ready to go. Then you're going to have another percentage of them that are definitely qualified buyers or sellers, but they're in the research process. So I'd say most of those are going to be probably a 4 to 6 month turn time on them. So it doesn't mean that they're a bad lead. It's just they're not quite ready yet. So they're definitely qualified. They're going to buy or sell a home with someone. And so you want to make sure you're that someone. I've been watching one of our agents. He's down in the Chula Vista area, and he's been working this flow for probably about 3 years now. And he spends the same amount of money every month on Facebook ads. Actually, I think he does Google pay-per-click, but which are slightly more expensive. But every single sale he does now, and he does primarily listings actually, it comes from the nurture of his CRM system and the campaigns that he has set up in there. So he went from, his first year trying it out to maybe less than 50% of his business being generated from the CRM to pretty much 100% of it now. That's the only thing he does. He doesn't do anything else. He doesn't do mailers. All he does is he sets up market reports and he follows his plan in the CRM. And he's closing, generally about 2 homes a month right now. When he first came over here, he was probably a sale every month and a half, I would say. So, he's not spending big money. He's spending, a manageable budget each month, and he's seeing the results. It's been a build, but he said, a lot of these people that are reaching out to him now have been in his nurture system for 6 months, a year, sometimes 2 years. And they come back around. So that is the importance of the CRM being tied to your marketing. Whether you use a company system or you have, anything else, some of the associations offer like a a free version or a freemium of top producer or another CRM, just get one in place and make sure it has the follow-up in there for you. So there will be some setup time. That's really where you're going to see the magic happen, in my opinion. I mean, I've just seen this over and over and over. I've been doing online leads since probably about 04, 05. So I understand that it's somewhat similar to mailers. I used to do lots of mailers way back in the day. I'd send out 10 to 15,000 pieces every couple months. And, my return was less than 1% every single time, but it was consistent. But I didn't expect everybody to call me. If I sent out 10,000 pieces of mail, I didn't expect 10,000 people to call me and say, hey, I want you to list my home. The internet leads are kind of the same thing. You're going to be gathering a bunch of them, and, maybe they're not calling, or they're not returning your call, but they will if you have the CRM in place and you have the follow-up systems in place. It could take 10, 12 times, even more sometimes, of you being in front of them, sending them something, making the call, shooting them a text, before they actually respond with, hey, I appreciate the follow-up. You're not bugging me. I'm just not quite ready yet. So definitely keep that in mind if you're going to put any of this together. And we do have, Leo can help you with ad setup. We do have a couple webinars in our back office where we did set up a funnel, a Facebook ad with the form, and then we can get that over into a CRM system from there, either manually or with automation. So with that said, we've been, like I said, testing a few things, a couple different markets. So this month I had a bunch of custom drip campaigns drafted up by a professional. We're loading those into our Sierra. So there's going to be a 2-year nurture already done, made out by a professional for home value leads and for buyers and for sphere of influence. So if you're looking to get that kind of stuff in place, we do have a really affordable monthly program to get into the broker lead pool that we're starting up this week. And it will be just $100 a month if you're interested. And that will give you the Sierra system, which will have all of the automation and follow-up systems in place for you. So you don't have to go and build any of that out. And you'll then have access to the broker lead pool. So this is going to be for buyers. We're not doing a seller lead pool on that program. The seller leads are generally a little more expensive, but what I'm finding is a lot of times these buyer leads are actually also a seller lead, because they're clicking on the ad because they're actively looking for homes to be their replacement home of the home they want to sell. So you have to keep that in mind, that it's not always just going to be a buyer lead. There could be a sale behind it too, a listing as well. So and then the other program is, if you are on the Premier program, or if you've thought about the Premier program, we're doing a Premier Plus now, which is $300 a month. And that one is going to be exclusive leads to you. There's no additional split on it. We're just going to do the full ad and everything for you. Leo's actually managing that in the background. So you do have basically a marketer working for you, dialing in the audience over and over and over again, kind of in the background. So the leads are pretty consistent as they come through. You're looking at, we can do seller or buyer on that program, on the Premier program. Just let us know which one you want. Most of the people that have been testing that out, they want the seller leads. And you have to remember that those are going to be home value leads. People are inquiring online to see what their home value is. They're doing it for a reason. They may say they're just curious or something like that, but they're obviously thinking about it. And it's probably going to be either a refi or a listing at some point. And so those are the ones that it's super, super important to have the Sierra system or some system in place for the follow-up. Obviously, you know, we're going to be providing you the Sierra system on that one as well. There is a really cool feature in there called market reports for the home value leads, which will just give them a market update of their neighborhood or their zip code or however you set it up. Once a month is the frequency that I kind of recommend on that. But really, we've kind of taken the past 6 months, I'd say, pretty serious with dialing in audiences and looking at flows and setting up systems that are just going to be kind of done for you if you're, you know, one of our agents. So if you're interested in either one of the programs, either the $100 one or moving on to the Premier Plus, just let me know. But I'm excited about it, especially the $100 programs. I think everybody can, you know, at least afford $100 to get their business going, get contacts coming in, get momentum going, and have a really nice CRM that you can even put, you know, your current and past clients in to stay in front of them, hopefully generate more referrals. That's what this whole system is for. So that's all I have today. If you have questions on anything, let me know. Like I said, we do have at least one recorded webinar. I think there's probably 2 in the back. AmeriPay, yes, that is $100 per month, and that would be for the broker lead program. So those ones are going to have a very high split for you, but you will have the contacts coming in regularly. So they seem to be pretty consistent there. Other than that, if there's no other questions, it looks like Tina has one, but she might have to get me offline, Tina. I don't see it in the chat. So other than that, hopefully you guys have a good day. Definitely check out the back office. In the Facebook section, there is a recorded webinar and setting up this ad if you want to do it yourself. But if you want us to do it for you, you know, we've already been testing these. We know they work. And it's much easier. Basically, we're going to have everything in place for you. All you have to do is make the calls, make the text when it tells you to make the calls and text. So we're really setting it up to be that easy. So yep, there's Steve. He's the guy I was talking about. So he's the one that's really built up his business with the Sierra system. So if you're using Sierra currently, just remember they do have webinars. I think they have 3 webinars a week. The Tuesday ones are the best. That's their feature-based training. And every week they go over a different aspect and really kind of show you how you can use it to generate more leads, really for not even spending money, just, you know, setting up some different things they have within the system. So it's not just a CRM. There's a whole lot of other stuff that goes along with it. So if you want to know about it further, again, just let us know. Other than that, hope everybody has a great week, and you know, join us on Wednesday. We have another webinar Wednesday as well, and then this month coming up with Steve, we are also going to have a professional coach come on and talk to us about some different, I believe, some lead gen and some mindset stuff. So be on the lookout for that. Hope everybody has a good week, and we will see you later.